Love, playing two-hand touch, eating way too much, watching my team win with the Twins. I love quarterbacks eating dirt, pom-poms and short skirts, fans who won't quit, and those Twins. And I love them too. Here's the football.
The Twins everybody loves are back in the studio. Oh, not
Tell
those
them what I'm doing.
Twins.
Tell them what I'm doing.
Nick's shaking his twins at me. But we're the cold cans twins.
People mistake us all the time.
I know. And they sing that song to us all the time. Mm-hmm. And twins.
And then we dance around in front of their TVs.
Yeah.
Naked.
We're drinking Coors Light, folks.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers. We're going headphones off for this episode. The listeners should know. We're going to try that. Oh, boy. It's immediately
Hear the
weird.
difference.
Yeah.
It is a little bit weird. Because now it'll feel like we don't have to fill all the silence. We can just sit here.
Yeah. We're not really running. We're not recording. Well, it's Coors Light. So there's probably a couple of different things to tackle right out of the gates. But we usually look at the label of the beer. Mm-hmm. We break that down. And Coors Light is the epitome of the cold cans brand. If you ask me, cold cans would be nothing. Wouldn't even be an idea if it weren't for Coors Light's can technology. So as most people know, when the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. This was some bullshit gimmick they came up with years and years ago and still stick with it today. And now the Coors Light cans have this giant Coors Light logo and then a big-ass mountain, presumably from the Rocky Mountains, underneath it when the whole mountain turns blue. So it's like half the can.
Yeah. I'm reading that it's when it gets between 43 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit, that's when they turn blue. That and below.
Interesting.
So that's as cold as the Rockies get. 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. That's when you know it's as cold as the Rockies. Which is trademarked, by the way. It's a registered trademark, that saying. So
Hey, Coors Light should buy out the Cold Cans podcast.
You think?
Yeah, they should.
And then
they're like, oh,
well,
that's
what would
genius. We
do?
should just call them Cold Cans. And then they buy us out. They buy out the name.
Oh, the name, and then they shut us down, a cease and desist.
Right. But
Maybe
we
go
cash
into
out, which is what
underground.
we've wanted to do the whole time.
Yeah.
Blue Apron.
I think Coors Light should. I thought you were going to say they should buy out the Rockies. They should just buy the Rockies mountain
idea.
range and then turn the whole thing into some sort of ad.
Yeah.
You know what else they should do?
What
Coors?
should they do?
They should merge with one of the other biggest beer brands in the world, and then mass produce a bunch of low quality beer and jam advertisements down our throats during NFL games to make us think that we should drink it. That would be. Oh wait,
Hey, who did they partner with?
Miller Coors.
What?
They own half the fucking beers we've done on the
Yeah.
podcast. Them or AB InBev or Pabst, actually. Wait, Pabst's owned by Miller Coors. No. Fuck, I'm having a brain
Something like
aneurysm.
that. Whatever
Anyway.
they implant in our minds is true.
And
Did you know AB InBev owns Elysian Brewing and
Yeah.
Red Hook and stuff?
So
All the
these are some
local.
local Seattle beers. Elysian has a beer called
Insider chat.
yeah, for the ones in the know. Elysian has a beer called Not a Corporate Beer, and they're owned by AB InBev. So
Whoops.
there was some pushback. Whoop. But Miller Coors, I think, probably their two flagship products across their entire giant conglomerate would be Miller Lite and Coors Light. Both the light beers over Miller Genuine Draft.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wonder if MGD is
Maybe. I don't know. What people do you know that drink Miller Genuine Draft? There's also Miller High Life. Which
the
those are
champagne
the
of
two,
beers.
the
right.
two pillars
I always
of
confuse those two.
Miller. But Miller, did you have the Miller High Life in mind when you
Yes,
said
the champagne of
who
beers.
drinks MGD? I feel like that's an uncle drink.
I'll have
like,
an MGD.
Who buys an MGD
Yeah, I don't
these
know.
days?
Yeah.
What do you even
It's
get
a man
in
who's
MGD?
taking a step up from his Blatz or something.
Is
in
that
MGD.
is that their like flagship non-light brand, MGD, or is it Miller High Life?
I would think High Life. I've always heard
Really? I
of
would
High
think
Life
it's
as like
genuine draft.
like the beer that people should want to drink or whatever.
What,
Like I'll have a High Life.
I thought
I'm living
High
the High
Life-
Life. Don't take my gusto.
I thought High Life was like the original, like kind of like Bud Light Platinum. Like Miller
Oh.
Genuine Draft was the flagship beer, and then they made something called like, hey, Miller High Life. It's like a premium derivation of it, and now those two things are almost they might as well be the
Well,
same fucking
sure.
thing.
Yeah, Genuine Draft is probably the original one, if that's what you originally
I guess that's
said.
kind of what I was going
Okay,
for. Like,
then
which
yeah.
one's the flagship? And then
It's
over
genuine.
it's in the title. It's the Genuine Draft of Miller, and then the Miller High Life. Definitely, that's the way it breaks
Yeah.
down. Coors flagship would be Coors Banquet Beer, the Banquet Beer. But I would say even more so than Miller, a tiny fraction of the population drinks the Banquet Beer
Right.
over the Coors Light. Like Coors Light almost is flagship.
They tried to do a like nostalgia thing with the banquet beer recently because they have like the cream colored cans or
Yep.
bottles, which is pretty like it reminds me of the Bucks like color scheme, like the little addition of
Cream City.
Cream City.
Hey, as of this recording, the Bucks opening tips tonight.
That's right.
Let's hope for no catastrophic injuries. Season-ending in
sucked.
nature. Well, I was thinking both of Aaron Rodgers and Gordon Hayward. But hey, enough of sports corner. Let's get back to the beer corner.
I get a beer in my gut, and all I want is sports corner.
A beer in your belly.
Turns me into
Well,
an old Roman watching the gladiators. I want blood, except I don't want blood. I want great sport
believe
with the
me,
best athletes, healthy.
Yeah, player safety is important, though. Yeah, you don't want blood. Well, you want as much blood until there's real blood, and then you're pissed that there's blood. It's a masochistic thing to do to like sports. It really is. Because almost every single year in any league, no matter who you're a fan of, everybody, 95% of the fan base, their team loses, and the season ends in crippling disappointment. And then one team wins. So one team celebrates, and everybody else has like a heartbreaking.
You a big fan
ending.
of college bowl system then?
I mean, I guess I'm not saying that's really I'm not saying the NFL or the NBA should like switch their systems. Like I would rather have there be a champion, but why are we putting ourselves through that? Like I always,
Because that's part of the payoff,
yeah, and
if
I
your
was,
team is the one.
yeah, and part of it is like that heartbreak we do kind of like the,
Treat me badly.
but it's like
Pull my hair.
I always say like as far as forms of entertainment go, like there's one real like true live entertainment, like
The Bible.
and it's Jesus Christ our Lord. No, it's like obviously like books, music, movies.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, those types of movies, and everything I'm saying is in the context of the Bible. But books, music, movies, those are all well thought out. Video games, even like well thought out, like planned for you,
Constructed, yeah.
constructed,
Contrived.
Then there's live
Contrived
versions
has a
of
negative
music.
connotation, but yeah.
So there's live versions of music that's like it's still the structure of our song, but we're just here doing it. And then maybe there's like live theater. It's still the structure of the play. Then maybe you get closer to true live,
Uncut.
like uncut, like real drama. Closer to that's maybe like improv comedy or something where it's like basic boundaries and then they just go, or maybe even fucking reality TV or something like that. But then on
Sure.
the other
Watching a
spectrum,
street fight.
yeah,
You
going
know?
out to the backyard. In Jesus Christ our Lord, that's true drama and like going to church on Sundays. And
It's
then
a live production.
it is, and then it's quite the production. And then on the the far end is sports, which literally is here is a set of rules, like go play the game, and that'll be exciting. Like what could be more, like I don't know, like if I watch a movie It has to be one of the. You and I have talked about this before. There's like 5 good movies a year, and then there's a ton of just shit out there.
Pick your 3. That was our big thing.
Pick your 3. There's 3 good
your
movies.
3.
Is this one of the 3? If you leave the theater and you come to me and say the movie was good, I go, is it in the 3? And if you can't give me a straight yes, it's probably not a good movie. But so there's 3 good movies a year. The very best of movies, the very best of TV, like Game of Thrones or whatever, makes me go, whoa, like I feel something. And the rest of it, I don't feel that much. Sports, every single time I watch a sports game, at some point, I feel like a spike of adrenaline and real emotion. Like, that's really cool. So fuck all the people, especially around like Seattle, being like, hey, you like sports ball? Yeah. Fuck you. Like, why shit on that?
I'm so excited for sports ball.
Why shit on it?
I think that's the thing people don't get is that it's almost all about suspense and drama. That's what makes sports fun to watch. It's not meatheads like loving these guys bash their skulls together.
Right.
It's like the drama and the emotional aspect of it.
Right.
It's all of that.
Yeah, and
For most people.
but I think for most people, I guess to tie it back into the beer,
Let's tie it back in and tie one on.
sports is about like.
Did you bring
the
more than one beer?
Twins. I was
by the way?
thinking about actually doing 2 Coors Lights. I was like, this
would've
is
been good.
This is a beer of all beers. We should do 2. It's so light.
I'm almost done.
But no, for most people, it's like it's the Twins, and that's their idea of sports. But when
I wouldn't say most people that's their idea.
I meant the people that are shitting on sports.
Right,
They think that's the idea
Gotcha.
of it, of what it is. But really, and also there's a camaraderie to it. Like we get together. We're over here in Seattle, and a few of us people from Wisconsin get together, and we watch Aaron Rodgers just completely shatter every rib and collarbone in his body. And
That was a dirty hit.
and
care what
we
anybody
feel
says.
something together. Like we don't do that.
Anthony Barr should be barred from the league.
Let's go.
I am petitioning. And he should be behind bars, too. I'll tell you that much.
You did that joke on Sunday, and
I
let's
did,
say
and it
people
only
were in
got
stitches.
better with age.
Rodgers is about to be in stitches.
Hey.
And so sports is good.
Sports is very good.
Yeah.
And Coors Light is a good beer to drink around sports. You
Yeah.
can put down a dozen of these on a Sunday.
Yeah. Well, let's I guess get to the utility and to drinking Coors Light. This is in the Glock household by far our go-to light beer. If we're buying light beer, we don't buy Bud Light or anything like that. We always buy Coors Light.
Yeah, same. And I think I got turned on to it a few years ago. I have cousins who live in Florida, and for whatever reason, they drink this stuff like it's water.
Yeah.
And which it is, close to water.
Holy water.
Yeah. And it's a good one to have around, just a case of Coors Light in the fridge,
Yeah.
in case you feel like having the taste of beer in your mouth.
Yeah. Just in case. Just in case, go into the
shit.
case.
Coors Light should buy us out of that one, too.
Yeah, hey,
They
we're
can
here.
use that.
We're just begging for it.
We're drinking beer. Yeah, used to it. Now we're begging for it. Pull my hair.
Very nice. Oh, okay. The can what didn't stop. Also, I'm looking at it as I drink it. It didn't stop with the blue.
It's a can
when it turns
just won't
blue.
quit.
It really won't. We've done the dual exhaust pipe ventilation on the top. We need 2.
Oh yeah, I saw they got in
ventilation
trouble
notches.
for saying that improved the
beer flow?
refreshment taste in some way.
Well, I was gonna
Said
say-
the most refreshing can.
At this point, look at it. Like actually look, and folks at home, when you have a Coors Light can in your hand, look at those vents. There's
looks-
almost no at all like change in the metal.
Yeah, well, the one side goes up higher than the other, right? Like the left side. It's
then
like
why
when-
is the right side?
It's
Why
like
does
when
it have
a
the big
pair
pipe?
of twins, one's bigger than the other.
Oh yeah, these are the twins. Why is the right side longer than the other one?
So you can see it. It's not a perfect oval on there. It's the left side is up higher, and ostensibly that's where the air can flow in, and so the beer can flow out more smoothly.
Oh, I see. So they made a misshapen hole in the can where
Yeah.
you drink out of. But what about the 2 vent pipes? Like, what is that right vent pipe doing?
That I don't know. It might just be to draw attention to it, but I don't. Does this
Right,
not
that's pure
almost look
marketing.
like
Looks like the Snapchat ghost.
Oh my God!
Spooky Halloween
scary.
edition. Very much does, with like the hands up in the air.
We'll post a picture of this if we remember.
We'll Photoshop the Snapchat ghost.
But
on
yeah,
top.
that certainly does.
So this can is riddled with technology. I applaud that.
To be riddled with technology, the ultimate disease.
Yeah. I don't know. Other beers decided to put silica gel in it to stay alive. Coors like, fuck it. Well, here's all the like weird, dumb gimmicks, and they're sticking with them. I don't mind that shit. I don't know. Doesn't make their beer any better. The beer's bland and drinkable. It's very sessionable. Maybe our most sessionable beer.
Yeah, and it's got 102 calories, which I like. It's close to a round number. You don't have to like do weird math in your head with Miller 64. Like you drink one and you know. It's like I only eat 100 calorie packs from Nabisco. That's all I eat. I eat 20 of those in a day, and I'm set.
But yeah, every morning I pick up an apple and I pick up a Coors Light and I decide what I want for breakfast. I say they're both 100 calories.
It's all the same. It's all calories, baby.
Hey, speaking of calories, we have a new segment on the show, folks. So this is kind of like a spin-off of Parable or Terrible. It's a little like Frasier to Cheers or something akin to that. Or maybe it's like the
Frasier talk.
Yeah, we could talk Frasier. Maybe it's like, what's a good sports spin-off? Like the XFL to the NFL? I hope it's not like the XFL to the NFL.
No. I'll be the he hate me of this new segment.
Yeah, and I'm Vince McMahon of the new. I'm the creator of the new segment. Or Donald Trump or whoever was like the initial investor in the XFL. In the XFL, their kickoffs, instead of flipping a coin, they put a ball in the middle of the field and let two people run and hit their heads at each other like battering rams.
No, they weren't coming from opposite sides of the field. They were running next to each other. Yeah.
But they still hit each other.
Yeah, there's like jostling.
Oh, but they didn't come from opposite ends of the field.
I don't think so.
Oh, my whole life's a lie then, because I've been thinking the XFL they came from.
God, I hope not.
I didn't think it was like two different ends. If only we could verify. But let's move on. I have a new segment today. So it's instead of Parable or Terrible, this is, let's call it the Weiger Challenge, because that's exactly who I'm stealing it from the show that influenced this show, Doughboys. Listeners out there, if you like this show, you'll like Doughboys much more because they're
funny. Yeah.
But this one is the Glock Challenge. And what I did is I was in Orlando. Acute listeners may know that, may recollect. Yeah.
I'm a cute listener.
Good. Want
to see my twins?
That I went to Orlando a few weeks ago. And when I was in Orlando, I went to Universal Studios. And when I was in Universal Studios, I went to Harry Potter World. In Harry Potter World, I went to the Weasleys' joke shop. And in the Weasleys' joke shop, they sell every flavor beans. So fans of the book will know that in Harry Potter, in J.K. Rowling's twisted, fucked up mind, the jelly beans can either taste good, like fucking candy, cherry, that kind of stuff, or they can taste, there's like piss and shit jelly beans. And you don't know what you're going to get. Well, let's just say at Universal Studios, they give you a little map. So what I've done is I've assembled, and we'll take a picture of this.
We'll post it.
I will post a picture of this too. I have assembled all of the jelly beans that I'm about to give Nick, and he doesn't know whether he's eating a piss-flavored jelly bean or whether he's eating a good one. And I want you to guess, first of all, whether it's bad or good, or if it's a Creed situation from The Office, or if he doesn't know if he's biting into an apple or a potato.
Potato.
So is this good or bad? And
just by its sight?
No, eat it.
Oh, eating it.
And then
if it's
second
good or
of
bad?
all, what is the flavor?
Okay.
So I'm going to start you with this one. Should be an easy one, a good warm-up one.
Okay, it's green. It's like a light-colored green.
It's a light-colored green jelly bean. And I have the map in front of me, listeners. So he's going to eat it. He's going to think it over. Good or bad, Nick?
It's a fine tasting. I think it's like green apple, probably.
Green apple. Ding, 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 ding. 1 for 1 on the Glock Challenge. All right. The next one I'm going to give you is this one.
Boy, this is going to be a tough segment. Dude can't chew this fast.
No, so that one is a little bit brown. It's got some speckles on it.
Reminiscent of.
Yeah, last week's episode. So Nick has got that one in his mouth hole.
I would say that's a bad one.
It's a tough one to guess. Give us the flavor profile you're going. I'm going to take another drink of this Coors Light. Flavor profile of that is water.
It's a little like you got a little bit of motor oil in your mouth.
Oh, interesting. Well, in the interest of time, I'm going to give you the answer to this.
Give me the answer.
It's sausage. That's a sausage-flavored jelly bean.
Okay, I could see that, yeah.
Objectively disgusting. How about another similar-looking one? We're only going to do a couple more of these, listeners. So this one is basically like a pale cream. You're just talking about your cream color with some brown spots on it.
Vanilla something.
It was either banana or marshmallow. I don't know.
Yeah,
those
marshmallow.
two look the same.
Definitely marshmallow.
Now I'm going to let your pick. So there's going to be one more segment.
Your pick
left here. You pick out of this. So what I'm holding in my hand, and maybe we should get another picture of this, but I have a dark brown jelly bean with black spots. I have a light blue jelly bean. I have a light green one. In fact, I'm going to take the light green one off the table.
That one's too good.
I have a red one with dark red spots, and I have like a cream-colored one. So Nick picked the light blue one. This one almost made me vomit, if I can remember correctly, if it's what I think it is.
Is it toothpaste? What is it?
It's soap.
Soap. Okay.
Soap flavored.
Okay.
And then the very last one, this one is
For when I was a naughty little boy with a potty mouth.
Yeah.
Trying to get my mouth washed out.
Yeah, I knew that would immediately what it was. And so for our very last one, I have one that I legitimately don't know, and I'll tell you it's either sherbet lemon or rotting egg.
Yep. Egg. Jesus.
And that's been the Glock Challenge with J.K. Rowling's twisted, fucked up sense of flavor.
A rotted egg pairs well with the Coors Light, though. Actually,
I bet it does.
it's a lot like the pickled herring.
So
and
it's very parable.
flats or whatever it was. Very bearable.
Okay, so you're finishing up the
Can
Coors
I admit
Light.
to you that I did not see any of the Harry Potter movies until
Have you read the books?
the last 6 months?
Really?
I've seen the first 3 now.
You saw the first 3. Did you
Didn't read
the
any
books?
of the books.
So you're very new.
I have since read the first 4 books, I think,
Oh, okay.
like within the past year.
Very new to the Rawlings verse.
Yes, other than being
not a Rawlings
alive
head.
and like knowing about.
Right, right.
If I were to tell you I'm a Rawlings head, I'd have to say J.K.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You're a real scamp today. All right, so we're sucking down the end of our Coors Lights. We've ate Birdie Bot's every flavored beans. We've examined the can.
Want to take a look at my can?
What's your can?
The butt. The caboose.
Oh, wasn't that your cans? No, that's your
No.
boobies.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
the headphones. Can. Can means butt.
Your can? I guess it does mean butt, yeah. No, I don't want to take a look at your can.
Okay.
Before we get to the rankings, though, I do want to reach into the mailbag, and this one's easy. This one came from my wife when we were out at dinner last night. She said she listened to the last episode where we were discussing how 2 people could poop on the same toilet at the same time. And she said, coupled with looking at my phone and feeling a little bit of motion sickness on the bus there in Seattle, and the poop talk, she got physically sick and had to turn the podcast off, or she didn't want to continue. Like she was going to throw up on the bus.
A lot of listeners turning off.
So what
Logging
she said,
off the cold cans.
and what she said made her, and this was pretty funny, physically sick, was that there's no way you would go back to back to each other. Instead, a more sensible approach is to, like sitting on a swing set at the playground, you'd do like a spider with each other. So the 2 of you would face each other, and one would go between the other one's legs.
Right.
Presumably, this is what, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, it's what women do when they go into the bathroom together at like bars and stuff. Like, hey, you want to join me? And then they do the thing where they sit and then they go between each other's
I'll never
legs.
forget in elementary school gym class, there was one bathroom out off the gym, and like 15 girls would go in there at once. And then when they come out, the gym teacher would always say, "What are you doing, sitting on each other's laps in there?"
Oh, gross.
Except they didn't have an East Coast accent.
Yeah.
And she
Also-
may have only said it once, but I will always remember it.
And you thought it was just
Hilarious.
classic. You had to run home. And...
Oh, yeah.
So that's been our mailbag. Thank you for the feedback, Tevin.
Okay. Also, though, I think back-to-back is more conducive to, like, proper shitting form than
You
the
put your
spider
knees up
method.
and stuff
right.
like that. The spider
The person who's
method
on
is
the top of the
gross.
other person's thighs would have trouble pooping, I think.
Well, you could kind of use the thighs as like a way to prop your can open and go.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess, if the person is thick with 2 C's, enough thighs, you could, like, get some
We've
depth.
had enough
Get
poop
depth
talk.
there.
Yeah, you could. You could sink right into the toilet itself.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of toilets, let's go to Beer Advocate score.
Yep.
This Coors Light has a 2.03 out of 5.
So that's bad. That's a 40%.
Yeah, out of 5,000 rankings.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. I can't really agree with it. Just that.
Sure.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
comparison,
It's just,
right.
Sure. This is such a boring beer. Like it's 100% marketing driven. It's why
It's
anybody
very
drinks
boring,
it.
but I
It's-
wish I had 6 more sitting in front of me.
I know. Beer itself is not boring, but in the beer world, there's just so many better options you can go with. But let's rank this son of a bitch.
Let's rank it.
From tape to tip, these are the rankings. Smirnoff Ice, O'Doul's, Olympia, Schlitz, Budweiser, Miller Lite, Miller 64, Michelob Ultra, Molson, Pfefferhofer, Hefeweizen, Grapefruit Beer, Rolling Rock, PBR, Eyinger Brauweiss, Palisades Pineapple, Tecate, Heineken, Blatz, Sierra Nevada Torpedo Extra IPA, Rainier, Crikey IPA, Blue Moon, Hoegaarden, Kona Longboard, Deschutes, Swivelhead Red, Old Rasputin, Rodenbach Grand Cru, Spotted Cow, and our reigning number 1, Session Premium Lager. You want to take it or you want me to take it first?
Hey, Joe, why don't you take it first? You're the twin. Right. You're the older twin. Take it first.
Yeah. It was a strange, like well over a year-long birth.
Yes,
we were still technically twins, but you're a full
very
year
painful labor.
Younger than me. So Coors Light, well, it's my go-to over like all these other light beers, so I instantly can't put it behind Miller 64. So it has to be at least to, or even behind Michelob Ultra. So it has to be at least to Molson. I do kind of like how unapologetic it is with its gimmicks. Again, we're still going with the fucking blue can means the beer is cold.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even touch on this, but the new gimmick that it's talking about is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. Every brewery on earth is lagering their beer cold. Like that means nothing. It's like saying alcoholic beer.
That's cold, Joe. Putting Coors Light on blast.
But it's a cold can. It's the epitome of cold cans.
It is.
I can't discount that either. So then when I look up the list, like Molson, Pfefferhofer Hefeweizen, Rolling Rock, PBR, fuck, I can't put it. I don't think I can put ahead of any of those.
Oof,
so for me,
really?
I'm all the way back toward the bottom. You're gonna have to sell me to bring it up. For me, I'm just ahead of Michelob Ultra and below Molson on our list.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult because we haven't done our rankings reconciliation yet, because there are a few beers above that I would put this above.
Right.
But I agree that it should belong towards the bottom of the list in that same territory, Michelob Ultra territory. So I'm fine. I don't care about the rankings at all. We can put it wherever you want.
Okay, so we're going to put it between Molson and Michelob Ultra. I just feel like we're going to breeze by this beer as we read the rankings, and it's just going to kind of sit there, and we're not going to talk about it ever again.
Yeah, and rightfully so. But it's still better than the rotten egg jelly bean I had, I think. If I were to rank that in the cold cans rankings, I'd put the rotten egg pretty low. The Cold Cans podcast is recorded in the Overcast Room at Cloud Studios in Seattle, Washington. Visit cloudstudiosseattle.com